Hey there, it's Angel. So you've got investment properties here in California and you're ready to bug on out, but you're not really sure what happens if you sell it. Let's go through the options for you, whether you own an investment property that has a tenant or just an investment property that is in the realm of real estate. I'm gonna help you out.
Hey there, it's Angel, your local Bakersfield expert and your favorite realtor.
Leasing it, but you just need to know what you're getting into and whether you're gonna buy or sell. So I've got an expert with me today. His name is Kurt Hill. He's an investment professional. I love the way that sounds. I am a real estate professional. So what we're going to talk about today is what are your options with your real estate investment here in California so that you can go start your new life. So option number one is going to be what, Kurt?
Sell the property, pay your tax, and leave.
Easy peasy lemon squeeze. Option number two.
Do a 1031 exchange.
Do we know what a 1031 exchange is?
1031 allows you to exchange your current investment property for another investment property, and by doing so, deferring all the capital gains that would have happened had you sold the property to begin with.
And even if you're not leaving California, you could still sell your rental property or your investment property. Maybe it's just not where you want to be in life. Maybe you're just thinking, I wanted to be a landlord, but it's not really my jam. Or I wanted to invest in, a storage units and grow that, but that's not really, I'd rather just leave California and figure it out where I go. You don't have to worry too much about whether you're staying or going. We're just trying to help you out to make sure you don't have to pay too much in taxes, and so you can just make an easier decision to bug out. So the first option, sell, pay the taxes, peace out. Second option, sell, reinvest the proceeds into something else.
And the way that is done is through a 1031 exchange, where you're actually selling your property and exchanging it or investing in other like properties, thus postponing or deferring capital gains taxes.
Here's what you need to know when you do that. There is a clock that begins to start ticking as we do that, right?
The way it works is once your property that you're getting rid of, you're selling, goes into escrow, you're identifying it as an exchange. When the house sells or the property sells, we then goes to what's called a qualified intermediary that holds the funds. We have 45 days to identify the new property that you're wanting to purchase or invest in. After 45 days, there's another 135 days in which the property is then purchased and everything closes and you now have the new property.
It's my job to watch that clock, by the way. From the time that we open escrow to close escrow, I know that clock starts ticking the day we close escrow. So I'm gonna be in contact with somebody like Kurt, and obviously we're gonna be looking for a new property for you, but that clock is gonna be ticking. So we need to be mindful of what the proceeds are gonna be on the sale so that we can know what you're gonna do with that going forward. That's pretty standard. We have to do that anyway. But you know this market, we've talked about how crazy it is right now to find a new property, to not be outbid, to not have to deal with being one of many, many offers. So that clock is going to be very, very important for us to look at going forward. Side note, I am a realtor. He is an investment professional. We are not attorneys. We are not accountants. We are your real estate professional and your investment professional. Please seek that advice for the other things. So one of the reasons that you might want to sell or that you might be thinking about selling is it's not that season of life for you anymore. You might not be somebody that wants to be in the lane of being a property manager in whatever capacity that is for you, whether you have a property management company, whether you're doing it yourself, or whether you're one of many in some sort of real estate investment. That might not be something you want to continue in your new location. Or you may be at a season where you realize this isn't really bringing me the return on the investment that it used to. Maybe the neighborhood environment has changed. Maybe all kinds of things in that tenant have changed where you're not able to get the same kind of tenant, and you might need to realize it might be time to dump the property and move on to something else.
So as a recap, some of the reasons why you might want to consider a 1031 is first and foremost, you want to defer capital gains taxes by exchanging it into another property that you really want to hold. You also, maybe you have a property that just has lousy cash flow, and you can improve that by getting a different piece of property. And probably last thing that a lot of people like is that exchange properties is possibly going into more of a passive type of ownership. And there's real estate investments that will allow you to do that.
So hopefully that helps kind of wrap up some of the high points of your 1031, of what you're going to do with your investment property when you're leaving California. Again, you don't have to leave California. You could just move from a different part of the state and we can still take care of this for you. But, my license is good all over the state. But one of the things to keep in mind is that you have options, and it's not always just to pay taxes and, take that hit. You have the whole point of this exchange is so that you can continue to have investments going forward. Stay tuned in this next video where we talk about what that could potentially look like for you. Hey, you know to see me every Wednesday. I have company some weeks and other weeks I don't, but I appreciate you being here. See you next week.